Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 7 of our Hard Times Hog Farm gameplay series. Me and Buck are just chilling here. We've been waiting for the rain to stop all day and it hasn't, so it looks like we're doing chores in the rain. We got a really great episode today. We have a whole bunch of work to do. We're going to be upgrading our whole facility area, getting down new production facilities, getting down a new pig food making unit. Oh, look at Buck. Buck is ready to go. And we also got to get a new greenhouse down that will start growing us some potatoes. So, like always, Buck is up and out of here, and I think we should be too. Let's go get some work done. So, one of the first things that I want to do here is we got to sell some pigs. If you can look to the bottom right hand screen, we got 478 pigs in the barn. So, the pigs just populated over the winter like crazy, and we need to sell off a whole bunch more. I don't think we'll get quite the payout that we got last time. Let's close the door so no one runs away. But we gotta sell some off regardless. I'm just gonna dump. Trying to get this pig food out of this trailer so we can use it to move manure around and such when the time comes. But I'll give you a quick recap of what kind of happened over the winter. So let's go into our settings, or sorry, our finances real quick. So I'll scroll the way to the bottom. So this is what we spent on pig food throughout the winter. I had to spend a little bit last month because there's so many pigs in there now. They're going through food like crazy. Water costs, sold products. This is just from the slurry and the manure and stuff like that we've been going through that production facility. Sold animals. So this was excess animals that are sold. Whenever the barn gets past its capacity, it'll just automatically. It's a mod set in that it just automatically sells those animals rather than them not like existing, if that makes sense. But we need to sell some more here, and we got to get some cash because we got a lot of work that we're going to do in this area over here. We're going to upgrade this production facility. We're going to tear down this pig food making unit, put down a new one. Yeah, I want to upgrade this facility, get a new pig food making unit, and we're going to set down a greenhouse, which will be pretty fun. But let's just go see. That's why I don't want to put any more slurry and stuff into that production facility. You know what I mean? So let's go in. Let's go right to the bottom. Let's start at the bottom. We'll sell these guys. I also want to put down a new pig barn at some point. We are always just selling pigs here. What's that? 20,000. We probably still got 450 pigs in there. Let's sell all 25 of these. Wow, there's another 36,000. Like, I'm just like thinking about it. Like, I think pigs might actually be the best. Like, they're pretty easy to deal with. You just have to feed them. But like, you don't gotta deal with like any moving pallets around of like a whole bunch of wool or something they produce. Okay, what's left in there? Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's go up to here. But they just repopulate like crazy. And yeah, like, man, we just are constantly selling hundreds of pigs. Where am I at here? 60 months. So there's another 16 grand there. Another 23 there. How many pigs are we at in the barn? Still 371. Okay, let's sell all of those. There's 15 of those. There's 20 of those. Okay, let's see. Let's sell that. Okay, now up to here. Another 10 grand there, 11,000 bucks almost. What do we got here? 15 of them. Another 40 grand almost there. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, pigs I think are the best. I'm gonna say it. There's still 262 in there. Let's just leave that. Let's just leave that. Oh my god, we get 600 grand? Okay, here's what we gotta do then, before we do anything. No. Before I do anything, I start to go shopping? No. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna go pay off. Man, can we just pay off this whole loan? Did we just do it? Yeah, we did. Oh my god, yes, we paid off the loan. Yes. Okay. Sold animals 338,000 and we paid off the loan. Look at us go. Episode 7. Like not too shabby. And we still got 440 big ones. Okay. So now what we need to do, jeez, I just want to drive around in this rain. What we need to do is get rid of this pig food making situation and this as well, but I just want to check in here while we're out. We have a bunch of straw in here. Let's go down. We don't have any manure in here. We got 12,000 liters of slurry. Okay, I think I might just, say see you later to that slurry. It is what it is. I probably really shouldn't have put it in there, but it will have a whole bunch more slurry in a while. So let's go into the build mode real quick here, and let's get this pig food making unit gone and out of here. We'll get rid of that, and we're gonna get rid of this unit as well. And what I want to do first is we're gonna put down greenhouses. Okay, we need to go. This one will do manure, vegetables, and potatoes. Yeah, this is the one. This will be a good one. This is like basically perfect for what we need. And I think I can have it go something. It says like it's over another object, but that is just not true. I think we'll put our greenhouse right there. Okay, looks good there, doesn't it? Now, another thing that we need to do, we need to go into factories. I know exactly. Or I thought I knew exactly. Yes, this one. Pig food. This one's TMR. Yeah, that's pig food. So, I think I want that to go somewhere like that. Be good enough. And then we need a new. It's down here. I seen it. I'm pretty sure it's this one right there. Where's the drop off area? I might move this around a little bit here, but oh. Yeah, because it drops off right there, and we don't really need too much room. It says it's over something else, but let's just go. Land is not owned by you. Let's just put it right there. Okay, there we go. New production facilities, and we still got 340 grand. Oh, now we can go shopping. Now we can go shopping. So what we got to do is we got to come in here, and I got to start potatoes and get them growing. Now, this is manure potatoes. This is what we need. Yeah, because we're going to use manure from the pigs. I'll enable the watering. And enabling the watering is actually a mod. So what I'm going to do to make it a little bit fair, so we don't got to haul water back and forth, but I'm going to put down a water tower just to make it fair. But okay, I want to activate these potatoes, but we need to bring some manure over right now. So let's jump in this little wagon since our other one's full of pig food. Let's get some manure in the greenhouse. Now, another thing that'll be good with that, with the new biogas facility that we put down there, is that I'm pretty sure you can put potatoes in there to also turn into some sort of energy. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Where did I? Yeah. So while that's dumping in there, like I said, I want to put down a water tower to make it fair. Should be under containers? Yeah. Maybe I'll put it back here. Land is not owned by you. Where do I want to put this? I might adjust a little bit so that I could drive behind here. I don't know. I might tweak some of this stuff a little bit in the future, depending on if I did this right or I did this wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, well, let's put the water tower right in there. There. Okay, so we got spuds growing all up in here. Let's close the door. We should have spuds growing in there, right? Let's go look in our fruits and vegetables. We've got manure. We don't really need that much manure. Should be good for now. Okay. So now we need to come over to this unit, and let's just double check. So we need canola. So we'll be able to harvest that canola field in the fall in a couple months. So we're gonna still have to buy a bit of pig food, which will be a little bit inconvenience, but it's not the end of the world. I think what I might do is put down kind of like how we had the pig food readily available here. I might do the same thing. Put something here just so that we can get pig food right at the farm so we don't got to go back and forth. We still have to pay for it, of course. I think that's what I'll do. You can get some sort of silo. It might even actually be in containers here. This one's cheap. This one will buy. You can buy basically whatever you need from this. I think you can get pig food from here. Multi-fruit buying station. I'm just looking on the bottom there to see if the little symbol for pig food comes through. Yeah, you can. So I might just put this down just so we have it and we can get pig food from it rather than running back and forth up to the store. I'll even pay a premium just so I don't have to do it. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna end up deleting this. So maybe I'll put it down. Yeah, I'll just put it down there for now. That way we got it. And like I said, we don't got to run back and forth up to the store. But yeah, so we need potatoes. We have some wheat. We'll plant the canola field and wheat after. I've got the cornfield. I actually planted the cornfield. We need to roll it. The problem is I just didn't want to do it in this rain. We got to roll it and deal with the weeds. So let's pull the rollers over there, actually. Drop this off. Yeah, I planted the cornfield. Just because I figured you guys didn't really need to see me plant the cornfield. So big deal. But I didn't get a chance to roll it. And then all this rain came in. And I didn't want to run the rollers across the field in the wet and make it all muddy and sloppy and gross. So I was hoping this rain would quit. But I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's looking like we're going to be dealing with rain all night. So I don't know. I might not roller this year. I know I can, and I know it won't technically affect anything, but in real life, you wouldn't want to just drag these rollers across there in the pouring rain, I wouldn't imagine. But there's a planted cornfield. So drop this right there. We also got to deal with the weeds. It needs rolling, and it needs to have the weeds dealt with. You know how it always does that once it harvests. So, but I can always deal with the weeds next month when they first pop up, and I don't have to pull that weeder or that hoeing unit across the field, get it all gross. And we'll be able to... Whoa, sorry, school bus. Dang, it's April. Kids got finals. I gotta be careful, you know what I mean? We got finals coming up. Let's jump through. Let's go check. 50% fertilized. Yep, I forgot to fertilize it the second time. It's all good, though. It's all good. Sometimes we get too focused on the pigs. But that's one thing we can do now. Let's go set down another pig barn. We might as well get another pig barn going since we got such a finely tuned operation here, and we got to get pigs in there. Now I also got to move those headers and stuff. Okay, first let's do this. Before we set down a new pig barn and get that going. Let's hook onto the slurry tanker and drop some slurry into this new production facility and get it going. Yeah, like I might do a little bit of some moving around, even if it's just off camera, kind of shuffling some of this to make some room to drive through better. But okay, do I drop it there? No. Do I drop it there? Where do I put it in? Unless I set the wrong one down. No, this takes in slurry. What am I doing here? Newer potato silage slurry. I would want to activate that guy. Hey, oh, it does. It makes straw, hey? No matter what, it always is making straw. Oh, sorry, you can put in straw. Oh, interesting. Okay, sugar beet. Used to sell the electricity. Okay, so let's activate that. Let's activate that. Let's activate that. And we might as well activate the manure one. But where do I put the slurry in? Doesn't seem to be a drop-off back here. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe I just didn't drive through. Let's spin around. Oh, run into the new production facility. Love to see it. No, it's probably just right here, and I just missed it. Slurry is not accepted here. Well, tell me where it is accepted. Slurry accepted. I mean, it's telling me that we can put slurry in there, right? You know, so that would be confusing. Okay, well, I'll get this sorted. I'll get it figured out, and yeah, I'll bring it back once I get this figured out, and yeah, we'll go from there. Hey, I'm back. I tried everything that I could, and I couldn't get it to work. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I re-put down this one, and then also what I did is I screwed up. I accidentally put down the wrong pig food making pig food making unit when we were doing it. Let me scroll and see if I can find the one. Oh gosh, it doesn't really matter. There was two of them. Like these were the ones that I originally found, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use that. But these are bigger, so I put down this one instead. So it was a little bit more, a little bit extra cash. No big deal. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna be using this production facility. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. If anybody does know, here's even what I did. If anyone's watched my Tassie Farms gameplay series, I use that production facility on that farm, and I went back and I found the episode when I placed it down, and I was able to use it. Like in that episode, we like pulled slurry over. This is the same slurry spreader. I dumped it in there, and I'm like, oh, perfect. We got a production facility, and so it wouldn't work on this map. I even went back over to our Tassie Farms map, and it won't work. I tried to put slurry in the unit, and it won't work. So I think it's just bugged. Hopefully they get it sorted, but yeah. The only reason I really wanted that one is because it was going to kind of match everything, you know? It's kind of like match our vibes, but that one's fine. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so we got our like new area set up here. Not too bad. I mean, that's kind of old, OG if you will, but whatevs. We got a greenhouse, pig food making unit. We've got this dispenser for pig food, just until everything's flowing really good till we harvest the canola, which is fine, and we'll still have to pay for it, which yeah, doesn't really matter. We gotta pay for the pig food for a little bit longer. We got 340 Granzillas to our name. Now, the final thing that I want to do here is put down another pig barn. So let's get over to... Geez, this weather, like... Get real. So I had kind of made a spot here for this new pig barn. And I'm just going to show you where it's roughly going to go. I got to move these headers. So... Well, we might be able to put it down even with those headers there. Let's go to pigs. We'll keep it going the same. I want to leave some room. I want it to go this way, kind of as much as I can. But I want it out a bit so we can... I think it's going to go somewhere like that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the headers and stuff and get them in a better spot so that I can maybe put a manure heap in this area. And then I'm just going to mess with it to make sure I can get it in a good spot so that we get like a really good pasture area in the back. So I'm just going to kind of mess around with that a little bit, and because I might move it this way a bit to make sure I can like still get tractors and stuff in each of the like barn doors and stuff like that. It might take me a second. So I don't want you to watch me painfully go through that, but this is where this is going to go, and I'll bring you back when I got everything set, and we'll buy pigs and go from there. Just back here. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. I've been waiting all day for this rain to kick, and it's almost going to. It's almost going to leave us. I'm hoping I can get out and roll that field. Um, get it done tonight, but I wanted to bring you guys and show you the new barn setup that we got going on here. Park some stuff in it. I got some of our supplies moved in here. I'm just gonna come and jump in kind of to like a little bit more of an aerial view. I'll go into construction mode so you can see. I got us new barn, obviously. The new pen kind of comes up, it wraps around. You can kind of see where the fence goes over here, comes back in. I put another manure heap in, and I was able to make it so that it fits right here for the headers. I also kind of came through and I installed some lights on the corners of the shop. Well, this one got put in a little weird spot I'm gonna have to fix, but geez, so did that one. Anyways, we got some lights on the corners of the shop. I might have to adjust them a little bit because they're kind of floating in no man's land. I don't know if it just got placed weird, but this is it. This is the new farm setup. Pretty dialed in. Get a look out here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and so let's jump out of this. This new barn, it won't hold as much as the other one. It holds 379 pigs. So, like always, I think we start with 8 of them, right? And 8 of them. And 8 of these little buggers. 24, Kobe Bryant, our favorite basketball player. That's what we're starting with. 24 pigs, and it will grow quick. We know exactly how it grows. So I got to put food in here. I got to do all this stuff. What I'm going to try and do is get that field rolled. I'm hoping this rain quits. Let's take a look at the forecast. I mean, it's not looking too good. It's telling me that there's sunshine coming, but this is telling me not till like midnight. I don't know. I don't know. I might have to just not roll that field and not. I don't want to, I don't want to pull those rollers across there when it's raining and muddy like that. So I know it doesn't really affect anything technically. I know I could, but I wouldn't want to do it if it was my farm. If it was a farm in real life, I wouldn't want to wreck that field. Also, throughout the day, we got some potatoes that grew, and let's come on in here and take a look at our greenhouse. This is our potato greens. Everything in me is telling me not to put a chip factory down because I love potato chips, but maybe in a different gameplay series we'll be chip farmers. But not looking too bad. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this before it got too dark. If this rain quits, I'll bring you back and we'll go roll that field. If not, we might just have to skip rolling it for this year. No big deal. If weather doesn't cooperate, that's how it works with farming, and we'll deal with weeds in May. I'm gonna get some food put in this pen. Just do kind of normal stuff. I'll pull some of these bales out of here and throw it in for bedding, and yeah, it'll be good to go. I'll bring you back and we'll either be rolling or it'll be May. So I'm just pulling back up into the farm. It is May. We did not get to roll that field. The weather would just not let up for us. Yeah, just wouldn't cooperate. It is what it is. Such as being a farmer. So I'm just pulling back in here. I'm going to dump these rollers off somewhere. It doesn't really matter where for now. I gotta kind of find a spot for these guys. I'll just leave them there for now. Hook onto these, this hoeing unit. We're gonna get the weeds dealt with on that cornfield, which is no big deal. I've moved a bunch of our potatoes into the pig food making production facility. And yeah, that was basically it. I checked on the animals. It's pretty much standard stuff. I fed everybody. There's straw in. I moved some slurry into the production facility. But yeah, I want to get the weeds dealt with. Oh, 8 o'clock. School bus is out. Off to pick up kiddos. Let's go deal with these weeds. And yeah, we're just going to be grinding. We got to get through this year. The nice thing is we shouldn't really have to be doing contracts anymore. We can just kind of hang out at the farm. And the next major thing is going to be harvesting the canola. So I want to get this field, all the weeds dealt with on this field, and then I'm just going to kind of get through the year a little bit more. up till canola harvesting time, and then once the canola is harvested, we'll actually be able to start making pig food, which will be pretty great. So canola field, although I forgot to fertilize it a second time, is growing nicely, and yeah, I'm gonna deal with the weeds on this field, and then we will go harvest some canola. But yeah, let's deal with these weeds on this field. Okay, so we got our field weeded, and then I slept through a couple months, got us into July here. I just did the normal chores of keeping the pigs fed and all that stuff, and it is now time to harvest our canola. So I'm gonna go get a worker set on this field to start harvesting the canola, and then I'm just gonna do some chores around the farm, kind of while the worker gets ahead here a little bit, and then we can come around and chase with the tractor. I just dumped a little bit of slurry into the production facility, but I'm just going to keep going, getting a few more loads of slurry out. I think I'm going to have to buy a new slurry tanker, perhaps. I don't know. As that other barn starts to fill up, we still only have 24 pigs in there, but as that barn starts to kind of like progress and really grab traction, we're going to have a lot of slurry. So I might try and find another tanker that can hold a little bit more just to make the chores a little bit better. I also, or here, once we fill up, I'll show you. But or I could just tell you, I set the potatoes on, instead of on storing, I set them on distribution or distributing. So they automatically go right into the pig food making unit, which is awesome. I don't even have to move them over. Yeah, if I come into my production facilities here, and I set them down to distributing, and it just automatically knows it'll try and distribute to the next production facility that you have that like can handle it. Like it's not going to distribute it to this production facility because it won't input potatoes. Okay, so let's dump this in here. We're dangerously close because once I get this canola harvested and we dump it in, we're going to actually be able to start making our own pig food, which, see, it feels like a long time coming because of that other unit that we tried to set down that just wouldn't work. Which I had read one of the comments. I can't remember exactly who said it, but they're 100% correct. What I think was happening with that other production facility for the pig food was that something with the silos was jamming it out. Like I almost think that if I didn't have silos and I was just dumping the raw materials right into the pig food mixing unit, then it might have worked. Or if the silos were really far away from the production facility, because once you dump something into the production facility, it like automatically connects it to the production. And I think that's what was jamming it out. And someone had mentioned that in the comments again. I'm sorry, I can't remember your username, but I think you're 100% correct in that. That was what was jamming it out or potentially causing the issues. So if you run into that in your own gameplays, it could be just the silos and kind of the connection between them and the production facilities that could be jamming it out. But I don't know for sure. Don't know. Doesn't matter now. We got this new unit. Either way, we're very close to be making our own pig food, which is great. Um, I'm slowly thinking too, like it'll be a little bit, but we're finally at a point too where we're looking good for money. Like we don't owe any more debt, which is great, and we never had to take out that other loan, which was also great. But the next thing that I want to buy is it's going to be that other field. So field 6 is what I want to get next, and then have these fields like field number 5 will probably end up being, well, let's just go check, or I can check from in here. So within the pig food making production chain, yeah, so field 5 will eventually just go to canola. And then what I'm thinking is, let's go back to the map here. So field 5 will stay the canola field because it's the smallest of the fields. Field 11 will then go into our wheat field, and I'm thinking field 6 will have to be our corn field because we need the most amount of corn to make the recipe. Then second most we need, the wheat. Third most we need the canola. So I'm thinking if we have these three all in production at the same time, we should be able to stay ahead on pig food, because even though we're able to make pig food, I don't know, I didn't really sit and do the calculations of like how much we're actually going to produce with when we have harvested fields, if that makes sense. So I'm nervous that we're going to bottleneck through and not be producing enough pig food to feed all the pigs. Because now that we got 2 barns, like it's going to be just pig food central, which is fine. Which is fine. It's what we wanted. I wanted to have, I wanted to build an empire from pigs, and I really, once you get the food situation started or like good to go, you're laughing with pigs. God, we can make money from pigs. It's crazy. The only thing that's different with this farm is like we started in the hole, and then I made rules where like I couldn't lease equipment and stuff like that. But if you were to build your own farm, like I'm thinking pigs is probably one of the best animals. Dare I say that at this point in the game? Who knows? It could change in the future. And I think sometimes prices change depending on the map, but like we're able to make quite a bit of cash from pigs, and our economic difficulty is set on hard. So that is pretty crazy to think. If you were on like economic easy, man, you might be able to make some crazy amounts of money from pigs, but who knows? Who knows? Let's see if we can get a little bit of grain out of this. I'm just itching to dump this in the production facility. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Unbelievable. I don't know how much we're going to get out of this unit. So, kind of adding on to what I said is what we're going to have to spend money on now is we got to kind of get some new implements and stuff. I don't know exactly, I don't have an exact plan yet of what I want to get, but if we do get that field 6, is it field 6? Yeah. We're gonna need a bigger planter if we're gonna be planting corn on there, because our little planter is only 4 meters wide, which we had to get at a bargain when we first started. What's this field over here? Is this oats? It is oats. Nice. It's a nice big oat field. Yeah, we had to get that stuff on a bargain in the beginning, again, just because we were super poor. But having a 4 meter wide planter for that big field is gonna get a little bit slow, and so I think we'll be able to get away with the cultivators that we have on that field, but a bigger planter is probably going to be needed, and eventually I'm thinking another combine, or if not another combine, a bigger set of headers. But I would kind of like to get a whole new setup, just because it would be nice if the combine, like I think our combine that we have out there will hold 5,000 liters. But just as we grow with the fields and stuff, all of it's got to kind of jump together. Can we snake that in there real good? Okay, so let's jump out. Like, this thing should be... Okay. Got to make sure that it's actually using this stuff. Like, it's creating pig food, but is it actually... Oh, yeah, it is using the materials. I'm watching corn right now. Yep, it's using the raw materials. Okay, good. That's what we wanted. All right, we're making pig food and it's working. I guess I could have just did it out here and watched. Unreal. Unreal. Well, that's great. That is great that we're finally making our own pig food. I'm interested to see. So I dumped. What did I just dump in there for canola? I know it's going through it right now. Was it 3,000 liters? Yeah, 3,600 liters. Okay, so we'll see what we get off this field. I can't really remember. All right, I'm going to let this harvest progress just a little bit more, and I'll bring you back once it's complete, and we'll probably be doing some field prep work on this field. I got to get some fertilizer down on it and all that jazz. I almost should have saved some of that slurry, to be honest, but all good. No worries at all. No worries at all. Yeah, I'll let this harvest progress a little bit, and I'll bring you back once we're doing some field prep on this. All right, I'm just backing in the combine now. We got that field harvested. Right on, right on. Now, what I kind of want to do just before, let me just shut this thing down and park it real quick. Oh, let's jump back over. We'll jump back over to the tractor, and I'll just start chatting as I'm kind of going to get the cultivators pulled over and ready. But what I kind of want to do is sleep through a month and just see how much pig food we create in a month. It seems like it's creating quite a bit. I didn't obviously do the calculations for the cycles, but I think it's going to produce quite a bit of pig food, which is awesome. Let's just check right here real quick. It should probably tell us if I come up to this. Yeah, 9,000 liters of canola, and it's all dropping pretty consistently. Now that we got that now that we've got the pig food making unit going and it is working, which is awesome, but I kind of want to sleep through a month and just see how much it produces. Because what I'm getting at is maybe we don't need to plant if it doesn't go like if we can produce enough. And it says it'll produce 100,000 liters of pig food. I'm just wondering if we need to plant because we have so much corn, and then I have that big cornfield up there already planted, and we're gonna have to harvest that, which is fine. But I'm thinking, should I replant this field that we just did in canola and then do the other field up there in wheat for this next cycle because we're going to have enough corn? Like, 'cause I got 50,000 liters of corn in there right now, plus whatever I get off that field. I'm just trying to think, maybe, just maybe, we don't actually need that other field, if that makes sense. Like, we might be able to just rotate these two fields and have enough of whatever we need to just constantly be making like hundred thousands of liters of pig food. It might work out good. So I don't know. I think there's some testing they'll have to go in. Um, I'm gonna sleep through a month before I decide to do anything because if we come to our thing or our cycle, we couldn't plant canola till August anyways. We wouldn't be planting wheat till into September if that's what we decided to do, and we still got to deal with the corn in October, like always. So what I might do is just fill the units here with food, get through into August, and then we'll start cultivating and see what needs to happen. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring you back in and just give you that little update. Let's get into August. Let's see how much pig food we make and just kind of how everything shakes out with this facility. So I'm just pulling around here. It is August. We did exactly what we said. I am just pulling up to the pig food making unit. We made 100,000 liters, but we worked through quite a bit of everything. So let's just go in. We had 50 some thousand liters of corn. We worked for about 20,000 liters of that, maybe about 14,000 liters. The potatoes are fine. It's just like kind of like a fine oiled machine with the greenhouse. It just keeps bringing them in. We went through a good bunch of the wheat and basically all of the canola. So I think regardless, we're probably gonna have to make one of those fields. We're probably gonna have to buy another field, is what I'm thinking, to really feed animals because they go like when we have two barns, they'll be going through a lot of food, both those barns. Like I was doing this trailer will haul 17,000 liters, 17,500, and I was like basically going through one of these trailers a month in the main barn. So having to, yeah, to really feed the pigs, we're gonna have to eventually get another field, which is fine, because now that we've finally got pig food, got like that, like that's the first time right there loading up pig food that I haven't had to pay for it. Like if I go into the finances here, like if I come down here, this was pig food that I had to buy, um, just like constantly. So let's dump this in. And we'll check on kind of all of the pigs here. Now, I should have went through a full trailer for this unit, but again, there's only probably about 300 pigs in here right now. Let's just jump out and see exactly. I didn't check now that the month has went through. Okay, so we got, yeah, almost 400 pigs in there again. We've got a bunch of manure. We've got a bunch of slurry that we got to move around. I'm just going to run over here real quick because I might not have to dump food into here just yet. Yeah, we still got 24. They'll probably be getting close to reproduce soon. So they'll have enough food in there for a while. So I'm just going to leave that while we go do some field work because I'd left that field. There's some weeds growing on it right now. So yeah, let's go get this field done. Yeah, I'm thinking probably going to have to buy another field and probably go back to the OG plan of, making sure we get maybe a bigger combine and stuff like that, just to kind of facilitate all the work that we're going to be doing. Maybe I'll try and do it without maybe I'll try and do this without GPS for a change while we just sit here and chat. I'm always using GPS. I don't really know how much of this game I've played without GPS. Like in FS22, we had to do this always by hand. There was no, until you had the good mods and stuff, like always. But yeah, so 272 or 277, I think, is what that field is going to end up being. That's what we're going to want to get next. So the next time we sell off a good chunk of the pigs, which, like, that one barn's already got, it's already got 388 in there. I mean, we could probably even go look. There's probably even a bunch we could sell. And, like, you can get 100 grand out of pigs real quick. But I don't want to go down to absolutely zero cash, because we probably still will have to buy some pig food until we really get that field and we can really stock up the silos and stuff, I think. But not too not too bad at all. The farm's come along pretty good in 7 episodes, I would say. We're finally at a debt, which is awesome. We're not paying that. We only pay about $1,000 a month in kind of like production costs and running costs of the farm, which is which makes sense since we have, essentially 3 production units if you count the greenhouse as a production facility. Which, yeah, I mean, it is in a sense. Let's just twist around here. And yeah, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Jeez, my legs are tired though. Like, I guess, I do this, say this every once in a while for people there, because there's been a bunch of new subs lately, which is awesome, by the way. Thanks so much for everyone who's subbed to the channel recently, and for anyone who's been a long time sub, thank you again just as much. I appreciate it. It's crazy. I really appreciate all the likes and the comments and stuff that you guys give me. I said it before, where I used to tell people, put in the comments what you're thinking and stuff, and no one would comment because there's no one watching. And now it's pretty cool to be getting comments and hearing that people are liking the series and all that stuff. But what I wanted to say, I do this every now and then, so if you've heard this before, forgive me. But for anyone who's new, the reason I call myself Ultra Farmer is because outside of playing this game too much, which I definitely do, but I train and compete in ultra marathons. And so I'm training for a race right now. It's going to be happening on July 12th. So depending when you're watching this, the race has either happened or it's getting very close, or, maybe this video is 3 years old and I DNF'd and died at that race and it's just a memory. Who knows, really? But yeah, I'm training for this race. It's called Sin 7. It's a 100-mile race that I'll be doing on July 12th. I've never ran 100 miles before. I've gotten close in a couple races that I've done, but I've never actually hit the 100-mile mark. So I guess I'm a little nervous, but also I feel pretty confident because I've been running a lot over the last 3 years. Well, actually, today marks day, I think it's 986. Let me just check my phone before I lie to you. Don't want to lie. Let's just check. I'm just going into my days counter here while also trying to yeah, 986. Okay, I was correct. 986 days in a row I've been running for. Now, I've been training for a little bit longer than that. I basically started training for ultras during COVID, which was like, in 2020. In 2020, I was signed up for my very first ultra, which got canceled due to the pandemic. But I ended up just going and running the distance anyways. It was a 50-kilometer race that I had signed up for. So I just eventually went and I just did 50K kind of around the city that I live in to get that done. And then, yeah, I just kept training and running and running and running. And then I started my run streak on September 12th, 2022. And yeah, I've been running every day since. So, but yeah, that's just kind of a, brief little, yeah, that's why I call myself Ultra Farmer, because I run a whole bunch, blah, blah, blah. It's not really that cool, but yeah. Got a big race coming up. Nervous. I did a big training session yesterday with a buddy of mine. We were just doing mountain loops. And on May 30th, yes, May 30th, I believe that's Friday. So next Friday, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna run all night at this mountain. There's like a mountain that I live by that I got like a 5 mile loop, and I'm gonna go run from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m. up there, just kind of in prep. With the ultras, one time that really sucks is overnight. Like I always train during the day, but at night there's like a period between about 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning when the race gets really, really hard. Like your body really starts to shut down. You're cold. That's always like the coldest part of the night, and it's a difficult point to get through. And once you do, you kind of get a second wind a little bit, and then the sun will start to rise, and then you kind of start to feel as good as you can in those moments. But that time frame is it's tricky. So I need to train for that. That's kind of my plan. But yeah, blah blah blah. I just like to say that every now and then. So if people ever wonder why is he called Ultra Farmer, well, that's why, because I run a lot. But okay, I'm gonna keep getting this field done. Enough for me chin wagging about everything I do. We got a farm to build here. Like, what are we talking about? I'm gonna get this done. I think I'm gonna plant. What am I gonna plant on this? I don't know. I think maybe I'll just plant canola again because I don't even know if there's really a good or right or wrong answer to it. Plant canola on it again. I'll get it fertilized and all that stuff. And yeah, we'll harvest that corn. Maybe what I'll do is put wheat out on that field, and hopefully by next spring, yeah, that's what we'll do. Next spring, we'll be able to buy that other plot of land and we'll plant corn out there. And in the meantime, we need to find a new planter that's bigger than 4 meters wide. And yeah, yeah, make sure the pigs don't die. That's the rules. Okay, I'll get this done, and I'll bring you back maybe once the canola is planted, and we're hopefully going to be able to roll this field and the weather cooperates. Well, folks, it's a beautiful fall evening here in September. I got this field planted with canola. We got it fertilized. I got the weeds dealt with, and got the tractor sitting here. And I think it's time we go roll this field out. But just look at it. She's a beautiful evening. It's just about 6 o'clock. Sorry, it's just about 4 o'clock. Oh, my time's all wrong. Jeez. Let's roll this out. And then in next month, we're going to get this rolled out. That's going to be kind of our last little task. I got all the animals, fed and watered and all that stuff. Well, we don't have to water them, but you know what I mean. Got all the animals good to go. I moved all the slurry and stuff around to the production facilities. Potatoes are going good. The pig food has been made. We're at 177,000 buccarinos. And we probably have to buy a little bit of pig food, but that one, oh, that's right, I forgot. These rollers, I need some weights on top of these rollers. But the OG pig barn is already almost full of pigs again, which just seems to be the normal fad. So we might have to sell off some more pigs from there again. I don't really know. I kind of want to get like I either once yeah, I want to get to a point where I just have like the barns full, and they're basically full all the time, and the pigs are just growing up to their like fullest maturity level, which will be when they're about 2,500 bucks worth, which is just over 2 years old. 24 to 26 months is like peak pig value, if you will. And so I want to have barns that are just full of like pigs that are just always. I'm only ever selling them at peak value, getting the most cash for them as we can. But I need food to be like 100% dialed in. Like I need to have so much grain in the pig food making production facility that we never will run out. Like just surpluses of corn and wheat and stuff like that. So it might be a bit till we get to that point. I think we got to just keep running this running this route that we've been doing, where we sell off all the pigs a couple times a year, and we take those flushes of cash and we upgrade the farm, upgrade the farm, upgrade the farm. Because as I think about it more and more, if we're really going to get to that point of like surplus of grain, then we're going to need probably two more fields, because these little fields probably won't cut it if we're only cutting them once a year. Even if we're doing canola consistently, I don't know if we're ever going to really be able to get ahead so much to the point that we can just have endless pig food whenever we want, if that makes sense. So this field that's withered right in front of us, that oat field that they let wither, bothers me. I wish they would have harvested that, but I mean, we may have to get a field like that at some point, and then that'll really be able to help us kind of propel and really make strides and get ahead of the game when it comes to grain. But I don't really know. I think we're just gonna have to play this kind of back and forth. But now that the loan is paid off, that becomes like much more of a real possibility. Because like last time when we bought everything and we were sitting with like half a mil, well, I had to dump 150 grand into into paying back the loan. Then I had to dump like probably about another 100 grand into building those production facilities and stuff like that. So now that some of those bills have finished and we can just pick away at certain things like another combine, maybe a bigger set of headers and things of that nature, I think we'll be able to get ahead a little bit faster. But I don't know. I don't know just yet. I don't know just yet. I think we just keep playing it, 1 year at a time. And yeah, but having two pig barns is going to really help because now that like we've seen how fast they multiplied before, and that's why I just started with that 24 because before we know it, there'll be 124 in there. And the pig food making is just not as streamlined as I wish it could be. But all that being said, what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to finish rolling out this field, and then I'll get us into October, and we're going to harvest that cornfield. We'll harvest that cornfield. I'll see if anything good comes through on sales, but think, we just got to be on limbo. I'll check when we get into October before we start harvesting the corn, or maybe while we're harvesting the corn and we're doing some of our chores, we'll check in and see if there's any pigs and stuff that we can sell and maybe have just a little extra cash for the winter in case something good does come through on sale. So yeah, I'll get this finished and I'll bring you back in October, and yeah, we'll harvest some corn. Okay, back in October, we are headed to harvest. I think corn is my favorite like thing to harvest almost. Like I love cutting and baling hay, even baling straw is pretty fun, but there's something so satisfying about watching corn get harvested. I got a worker going on our tractor out there harvesting, fertilizing our canola field, which I forgot to do last time, so it's good. Neighbors look like they plowed the field, which is good, but still sad that they let that crop go to wither. Pretty brutal. Check both ways here, and I'm gonna set a worker to start going on this field, and I'm gonna jump back over to the farm, fire up this tractor, and just start doing some of our everyday chores here. Yeah, I still want to buy a new tanker, which I was kind of looking at. You can get them for about a decent one for about 40, 50 grand. It'll hold pretty much just about or over double this. It'll hold 18,000 liters, which would kind of help with doing some of our chores around the farm. But also, I'd rather buy fields first. I don't mind doing these chores, ripping around here. Um, well, because we always got stuff going on in the field. Geez, that sun is bright. I don't mind doing our loops and doing our chores this way for now. I'd rather save up the money and get a new field, which we'll probably be able to do this episode because after we get this slurry and stuff kind of moved around, I'm gonna go in and we got so many pigs. The barn is completely full of pigs again, so we're gonna have to sell some more off to make room in there, which is fine. I don't know exactly how much cash we'll get out of it, but it'll be probably a good, well, it adds up quick. You get a couple 20, $30,000 sales off some of those pigs, and then you can get 150 grand pretty quick, which is crazy. Yeah, I really think pigs are gotta be the best. They gotta be. I don't know. Unless someone let me know in the comment section below. Like, has anyone else done pigs? Do you guys think pigs are the best? Because I've done quite a few animals in this game. Sheep are pretty good, but you need the dual production facilities. Like, you got to be able to make fabric and then clothing, and you can make a lot of money from clothing. Even the canola oil's not too bad, but I'm talking like we're on hard difficulty. Let's go sell some pigs here. So, okay, so we'll sell them. So what are we at right now? 183,000. So there we go. There's 193 right there. Like there's another 34 grand just right there. Boom. So we'll get rid of those. We have way too many in there. We still have 418. Let's get rid of those. There's another 20 grand. Might as well get rid of those. They'll start to reproduce at 6 months. So yeah, I'm just going to leave these so that way through the winter they'll start reproducing. So let's go. There's another 25 grand. This is what, 5 grand? Yeah, that's fine. I almost should leave those ones like when there's like only 5 of them or something like that. I think I'm going to start doing that. 20 at that many months is fine. Okay, let's sell these guys. Another 20 grand there. Wow. This will be another 34. Yep. Crazy. Another 15. Yeah, wild. What do we got here? Another 20 some. I'm just going to leave because there's only 5 of them. There's 221 left in here. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just leave that what it is and go from there. So let's jump over. This tractor's done doing what it's doing. Pull this fertilizer spreader back over and, well, run into a post. No big deal. Yeah, I love harvesting cornfields. That's got to be one of the best. It really does. It's very satisfying. Very satisfying. Okay, so we got 460 grand. So we definitely can go buy that other field. What? Well, here, let's go park this unit and then we will maybe we'll take a ride over and see what's on that field, see if it's something we can harvest. I never really looked at that. Chances are, well, you never know. If it's wheat or something, we could get lucky. All right, let's drop this off if I can snake her in there. Let's do a little bit better. Right there's good. Right there's good. All right, let's take a cruise to the other field over here and see what we got on there. I bet you there's nothing. Doesn't look like it's a cornfield. We would have been too lucky. Okay. There's nothing on it. That's fine. Let's jump out. Parsnips harvested. Needs plowing. Okay. Okay. Not too bad. Well, what I think I might do then is just wait till the spring because we're not going to be able to do anything with it this fall. I'm going to end up planting corn on that field anyways, and I'm going to plant wheat on the field that's being harvested right now. So we might as well just wait. We'll see if maybe someone will end up doing the plowing for us. Who knows? Because, yeah, there's nothing really we could do with that field till October anyways. But it's good to know we got the cash sitting, and we don't have to pay off any debts. That's nice. That's crazy. Pretty insane. Okay, I'm going to hook onto this trailer and drag it over to the combine so I can have it over there. And let's go get some corn out of that harvester. Not too bad, though. 460 grand now. We're at 183, right? On my calculator. Well, I guess I could just check the finance thing. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, unless... Nah, this field right beside us is way too expensive, I think. Let's dump the... We'll get the grain dumped out of this harvester, and then... There's a cement truck. Boys must be headed to work. Alright, where's this combine? Yep, it's getting full. Hopefully we get there just in the nick of time. Full tank. We did get there just in the nick of time. Nice. Okay. Let's see how much this... yeah, this one's 272. How much is this one? 453. Yeah. Can't do that. 381. Let's just visit this real quick. This has got barley growing on it. No. No, we'll get that other one. We'll get that other one. Plus, it's right beside the house. We'll just have to clear. I'll have to kind of clear with the chainsaw, go through and clear out a good spot so we can drive back and forth nice and easy. But, yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll get that field. We'll plant corn on it. Probably by the time that we go to harvest that corn, we will we should have enough extra cash that that we might be able to get a bigger harvester with a bigger set of corn headers. That would be pretty good. If we sold, let's just go for funsies and see our vehicles. That's a New Holland. What's it worth? 22,000 bucks? That's not too bad. And I think these are the corn headers. These are 14. Because what I was looking at, what we could potentially get, there's nothing really too good in the stores, but if I come down to combines, I could get this, one of these claws. But this will hold 8,000 liters. It's 270 horse, which is good just in case we get that other field beside us it's got some hills on it, which could really help. So that's 90 grand minus 22. So, you know, we'd be paying around 70 for this, 68,000 brand new, unless by chance it comes through on the stores. But that'll hold 8,000 liters, which would be pretty good. We'd be able to let it harvest for a bit. Let's go check headers. Those are 6 meters wide. I think these are all just 6 meters. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, 9 meters wide. I think the ones that we have are these 4 point, or no. We have these 5 meters. So, yeah, maybe we could just get a set of these at a certain color, something like that. Get something 6 meters. Yeah, that might be what we have to do, unless we get lucky. But I don't want to bank on that. All right, let's go get some pig food loaded in this little unit. We'll get this and we'll get it dumped into both the barns. Okay, we got 90,000 liters in there still. That's so awesome that we can just roll over here, fill up on pig food. We'll dump into both of these. This barn finally had some offspring, so I think there's 48 in there now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 48. So let's dump that. Let's just jump out and take a look real quick so I'm not a liar to you guys. Yeah, there's 48 in there right now. 90% health. That's because they just had some offspring, so that's why that is. And this, I might be able to just park this. Let's see how much this takes. It's kind of nice when we sell off the pigs and they go through obviously way less pig food. Because we don't have that much. Like we got 90,000 liters, but until we harvest canola and wheat again, we're not doing too good. Okay, yeah, that just took that full truck full. Let's go load up one more. Make sure the barn's full, and then we'll just leave this truck parked out front for our little feeding trick. Oh, it's so good having pig food here. That is unbelievable. I can't wait till we get that other field in the spring, and then we do a big harvest off that, and we can just use these other fields. Probably by next year we'll be able to get maybe even this field right beside us and have 4 fields. And then we can have 1 wheat, 1 corn, and then 2 canola. And that'll probably be the best. You know, and at that point, maybe what I'm thinking is we don't even sell that combine we have or the headers. We just buy another one and we have 2. And that way when we're harvesting, we can harvest the canola, because if we have 2 canola fields, we'll need to harvest that pretty quick. We can always have that small set just as like a backup, or I could set 1 AI worker to start on headlands and 1 to work on the up and downs, and I bet we could harvest a field pretty quick as long as they don't run into one another. Let's go see how this guy's doing. I'm going to jump into this guy and spin around. Nice. Oh, yes. Love harvesting corn. I love harvesting corn. Okay, I think this is what we'll do. I think we're probably going to end the episode there. I'll just get this field finished off. It'll be another good year that we had here at the Hard Times Hog Farm here in Waseca County. It's a really good episode. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. I mean, we got a ton of work done. We we set down those new production facilities. We paid off the loan, which is crazy, and now we're finishing the episode with just about a $500,000 since we sold off that other set of pigs. We will buy another field in the springtime, which is awesome. We're finally making pig food. Like, we hit a lot of strides this episode, and we got some extra cash just chilling for a rainy day. For if something comes good through in the stores throughout the winter, we'll be able to take advantage of that. And even though we probably won't have enough pig food to get us through all the way till next year, we basically won't have to pay for pig food for like 7 months, which is awesome. And as soon as that barn keeps going, we're gonna be in pretty good shape. So thanks again so much for checking out this episode. If you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that sub, hit that notification bell if you're really liking this series, so that you can be notified as soon as a new episode comes out. I'm still trying to upload some sort of episode or tutorial every single day, so there's always something new for you to check out. Even check out the tutorials if you haven't, even if you've been playing this game for a while. I know even for myself, I'm still learning stuff new to this day. So maybe even some simple little tip or trick could help you. Something help with the farms that you're building. So thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate it like always. Have a good day, everybody.